Like, what advice would you give that are common mistakes new composers do when they're submitting music to you guys? Any, reasons you might reject the demos or any tips so people can perfect their music better or even like, their business skills?
We don't need your life story. We love submissions. We accept submissions through our website. They are reviewed, maybe not immediately, but they're all reviewed. And I think when people find me directly, that's always a plus because I know they did some homework. But again, if it's page and a half, I'm dating myself, but of who I am and what I do and what I want out of life, we don't have time. So we just need to know who you are, where you're at with your career, what kind of things you've been working on, and samples of your music. Samples that are easy to access, and an understanding of how production music works. It's not really a negotiable business. Every company works the way they work, and um, that's kind of how we're able to be so nimble and flexible and fast and responsive and licensed globally. Um, and also being a PRO, being affiliated with a PRO is essential because we can't do business with you unless you are. So, and production value,
Well,
I'm speaking of all the things except the music, but just the way you present yourself, you're presenting yourself to people that are so busy, they get hundreds of emails a day. And so in a short paragraph, you kind of need to describe what you have to offer and send a handful of samples and be polite about it. And if we like what we hear, we get back to you.
like when you say asking people to submit easy ways to listen, do you have certain form, like say Dropbox or Box.net or Disco,
SoundCloud
anything?
is great.
SoundCloud. Okay.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Easy ways to listen because if you have to download stuff and hunt and peck, then it's time consuming for
Or
these
if the more you have to
executives.
click to get to the song and then you have to click out of it.
Basically, people that get their music uh, contracted and get licensing, you have to be very efficient with what you're doing. Metadata is key.
I was going to ask about that. Yeah.
A lot of people don't put their phone number on the metadata if they're submitting a demo. All the things Pat mentioned, you'd be surprised how many people don't do those things. And for me, like for someone starting out, like do your best, whatever you're best at, whether you're a trailer music composer or a songwriter or a singer-songwriter. I always suggest to people to do an EP, do a 5-song EP or a 5Q EP. It has to be radio ready, whatever it takes. It's ready to be put on the air. And have it mixed by a professional engineer if you're not one yourself, and submit your best work, and someone will be interested in it if it's high quality, well written. It has check all the boxes. Because a lot of people submit demos. People send me demos, like, and then a lot of artists, they're kind of self-absorbed with their music and they think it's the most wonderful thing in the world, and it's not even produced that well. And like I have a good friend of mine, he's been submitting stuff to me for years and he does it in his bedroom. And I'm like, well, check, like, what's the deal with this mix that you did in the bathtub? It's like, okay. So,
Yeah. Don't
some
electrocute.
people don't get it right away, but I mean, we're working with more professional level people in the SCL, of course, and in general, you know, it's a more common thing now for people to have produce their own record and have it be at a really high level. And, you know, um, like we were talking about sports, hip hop, maybe you're a good producer and composer, so find a hip hop artist to collaborate with. I've written hundreds of songs. I'm not a lyricist, so I collaborate with people. Um, find a good artist to collaborate with, and then you get a higher level product.